studios, and it seems like, you know, everyone kind of does kind of the same thing but has different technique and stuff, you know. And I was kind of shocked when I was at your place last time that you actually had, you know, you paint on canvas, and you have a bunch of canvases already set up for future paintings. And I mean, so you put a lot of thought in.
Oh gosh, yeah. The Church of the Great Outdoors is a painting that I more or less thought about probably for 5 years. And there are other paintings that are 5 years down the road from me right now that I sort of think about. Flower Children, gosh, I think the reference and the idea for that probably goes back at least 5 or 6 years, maybe 10 years, I don't know.
Nice.
But I see these things and I think of things and sort of store them away, and when the time is right, I do them.
Yeah, you know, and I think, you know, what separates your work from some of the other art that we've seen too is, you know, I mean, I think you paint from the heart, not that these other artists don't too, but I really feel like, I mean, when I look at your paintings, I mean, I guess, I mean, me being a hunter and spending time in the woods as a hunter, you know, you kind of look at things a certain way.
Right.
And I guess on some of your hunting scenes and stuff in particular, I mean, they really kind of grab me, where I've seen other artists attempt certain things, and you look at it and it's just something doesn't quite feel right here or there. Well, I'm pretty critical, you know.
And that's a good thing, to be critical, because you should look at art and you should demand a high degree of quality when you look at it. But that attitude, looking at things as a hunter, carries over to paintings like Flower Children that is not a hunting scene.
Yeah.
So it's in the way I approach it more than it's not necessarily a hunter's point of view, although I think it is, but it's more than that. It's also it's a point of view that goes beyond that, I think. Nice. Or I hope it does anyway.
All right, well, thanks a lot, and you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Hey, I'm Mike. You know, last time we had you on the show here with us, it seems like the whole set we had all African stuff, and the theme was the African trip. And, you know, now we have all this North American game here. I mean, you travel all over the world for your subject matter. Let's go back into the African stuff and talk a little bit about some of the African stuff.
Well, the last time I was here, I did have a number of African paintings. I'm doing more and more all the time. White-tailed deer pay the bills, but I sure enjoy the African. It's a loss every time, but I enjoy it, and that's why I do it. I was in Africa the last time in 2002, and plan on going back this summer again. This trip will be a trip to Zimbabwe. A friend of mine, an artist from Zimbabwe, and we're hoping to find another artist or two. We haven't found them yet, but we plan on going up the Zambezi River, and then taking a kind of a combination of a canoe backpack trip down the river, and we'll be camping in different places every couple days, hiking up into the hills and then back to the river and canoeing up some of the streams that lead into it. It's a photography trip. It's not a hunting trip. For me, it's designed to come up with a lot of good background, the habitat, the trees, the rocks, just the feel of the place. That area of Africa has got some real nice terrain. The last time I was in Africa, I was in Namibia, which is relatively flat. It's a fairly flat, dry country. This is much more, it has a lot more growth to it, a lot more brush and trees, as well as a lot more terrain to hike and see.
So this gets into the whole composition thing. You're
Correct.
looking for some backdrops.
Right. I'm looking for interesting backgrounds and compositions and things like that. I mean, I've got a tremendous amount of research as far as the animals themselves go.
Okay.
Which are always fun to shoot, you know, with camera to take pictures of. They photograph really well, but I really need good habitat.
It seems like, I mean, customers I talk to, artists, whatnot, it seems like Africa is kind of addicting to.
It is. It's a great place, yeah. When I first started out, I spent a lot of time in the Canadian Rockies and in the Rocky Mountains, and very quickly shifted to Alaska. I've gone to Alaska many, many times on trips. I kind of see Africa as my go-to place for the next 10 years. I hope I can make it there 5 times in the next 10 years.
Sure.
To various places.
And like you said, I mean, you said whitetail pays the bills, you know, and it seems like, you know, I've sold, you know, more of your whitetail deer art than anything else, but I mean, you've painted just about everything I can think of. I mean,
well, it's a broad range. I've photographed humpback whales in the Straits of Alaska, in icy straits, moose, of course, polar bears in the Arctic, jaguars in the tropics, Africa. But you're right, whitetail deer do pay the bills,
sure.
And always have.
You know, and it seems like lately, you know, I mean, this is the second moose piece now that I just saw you just did recently. I mean, do you kind of, I mean, I guess my question would be is, I mean, is there a demand that you're kind of feeding, or is it just kind of, you're kind of free reign?
No, I pretty much paint what I want to. I painted this moose and another one pretty much back to back. And it's the same moose in both paintings, just variations on the theme.
Okay.
I think this one is a better painting, but maybe other people would disagree. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about that a little bit. I think they're both impressive, and you know, I mean, I mean, they're both very similar, but
very similar.
You know, and then let's talk a little bit about, you know, like future projects. What do you want to accomplish, like in the next year, let's say? I mean, what are pieces that we can look forward to?
A year or so ago, in fact, I think it was at the last Art Barbarian show I did, we had Armistice Day Blizzard, a painting of Armistice Day Blizzard, and that was a very successful piece. One of the things I've always been interested in is history. I love history. I love, you know, things like that. Right now, I'm starting to do research on a historical African hunting scene, going back to the ivory trade, and kind of working on that a bit. That's one of the things I want to research in Africa when I go back this summer.
Sure. Well, I can't wait to see those then. I'm sure that will be a nice one.
Hope so.
Again, you know, everyone watching at home, you know, pick up the phone or go to the website. You know, our website's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can see all of Mike's work. We're adding images all the time to it. You can give us a call. We'd love to put you on the mailing list. You can find out the next time Mike will be up at the shop. We have a number of Mike's artist proofs for sale up at the gallery. You know, we have a number of canvases, originals. You can, you know, come look at them. I mean, there's nothing like the original, you know.
And you'll have a bronze there, I think.
Yeah, we'll have a bronze there. We'd love to take care of any questions you have. Do any framing for you we can do for you. Like I said, if you're a hunter and you have an arrow or a shotgun shell, I mean, we can do all that stuff. A number of guys give art for different occasions. You know, we've done kind of memorial pieces. You know, Grandpa Joe loved to hunt, and here's his arrow and a photo with Grandpa Joe and his bow and one of his deer. So, you know, we'd love to take care of any aspect of it. But, you know, again, our phone number is 763-494-8888. And if you have any questions, give us a call. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you on our next show. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you later.